So here we go. Again, coming to a comfortable seated position, whatever that looks like to you. If you're on blocks or bolsters or something, you can do that. Otherwise, just coming to this place and feeling grounded, relaxing your hips down, your knees down. And moving away from wherever you were before this. And not yet getting to the place where you're going after, but just being able to be right here, right in this moment, right on your mat, kind of taking that little space, this little space right here, and just being able to be right here. And once again, as your hips are grounding down, your knees are grounding down, feel your tailbone descending, kind of meeting the earth, whatever is underneath you. Maybe it's your mat, whatever's underneath that, and just feel that. You can even start to close your eyes if that feels comfortable to you. Awesome. And breathing in right to the center, right around the belly button. And feeling like the lower back, or kind of like right across from the belly button, that kind of lower middle back is meeting the belly button right in the center. So you're not clenching anything, but there's that meeting in the middle. So feeling strong in that area, the ribs pulling up off the hips. So feeling strong but spacious. That little area is the area that helps us sit for long hours if that's what you're doing right now, helps us walk. We think a lot of times it's the hips or the legs or the shoulders or behind the shoulder blades or something, but there's this whole area between the ribs and the hips, the QL right there, those muscles. So just feeling those right now. And just still kind of walking up the vertebrae, the one on top of the one below it, just resting gently on it. And then starting to feel length and space in between each vertebrae. One after the other, going up between the shoulder blades, behind the neck. Right as you get to the neck, release the shoulders away from the ears. Unclench your jaw if it feels like it's tight, making the back of the tongue wide. And then imagine a string in the center of the crown of your head. It's just pulling you up, lengthening you up. Once again, finding space, openness, so that your inhale can really come deeply in through your nose, your mouth, expanding through the lungs, the belly, and fully letting go with the exhale. Continuing to find that rhythm on your own, finding that inhale, opening and expanding. The exhale, fully letting go. Once again, seeing if that inhale, if your inhale can move down gracefully through your throat, the lungs, the belly, and letting it go with exhale, exhale, exhale. Once again, inhale, inhale, inhale to open and expand, finding that pause, and then exhale, exhale, exhale. On an inhale, swooping your arms out to the side, up to the sky, lengthening them here, lengthening the sides, fingertips exalting up to this day, hands coming together and bringing them right down to heart center, bowing down here for a moment. And taking this moment to think about an intention that you might have for this class, for yourself, being on your own mat, your own journey for this next hour. And on your next inhale, bring the arms right back up. Once again, giving thanks for this day, releasing the hands onto your knees. And whatever leg is in front, if you're sitting with your legs kind of one in front of the other, bring that one back behind. So we switch it up a little bit here, and we'll start with some circles. So whenever you're ready, inhale is going to bring the chest forward and lengthening the lower back. The exhale, I'm going to swoop over to my left if you want to do the same as me, whatever. But just find your flow with it. Inhale, exhale, and just working out any kinks in the hips, the ribs, again, those sides. This is part of that QL, that lumbar area, just stretching it out. Being gentle still with your neck, your shoulders, finding your breath. And y'all should be going at your speed, right? If you're like, I need to go a little bit faster, working out the kinks nice and fast, go for it. If it's 8 o'clock where you are and you're kind of slowing down, slow that down. And next time you come forward, don't rush it. Find yourself there, hang out there for a moment, and then swoop around to the other side. I always like to think about water and how much our bodies are made up of water, 70 something percent, liquids just moving all around. So just in your mind's eye, think about that momentum, when you start to swirl water around, it just kind of keeps happening, right? Just kind of keeps going in that swirl. So finding that rhythm, that flow, just churning it all around. Yoga is good for that. Turning things around, turning them upside down. Awesome. Next time you come forward, release there. And any amount that you want or can, bring your hands down in front of you. And, a couple options are to really keep the sit bones grounded and just lengthening as much as you can, but keeping the sit bones grounded, hips grounded. Or if you feel like popping up and really stretching forward, kind of coming up onto your knees, both are okay, whatever you feel like you need to do. But all the while being safe, taking this moment of pause, being in your pose. So sometimes it's good to look at me. Other times I'm kind of doing something different because I'm trying to look at you. But yeah, just taking this moment of pause to kind of check in. What do I need? How am I feeling? Scan the body. And then you'll tuck the chin and roll back up to center. Bring the knees with you. So they're up here for a moment, hands back behind you. Just for a moment here, little heart center opening. The fingertips can face towards you. They can go sideways, backwards, whatever is working for you. I like them towards me. It just stretches out a part of my shoulders that I need. Shoulder blades squeezing together, heart center up to the sky. Kind of releasing the shoulders down, even though there's so much openness happening. Release the jaw. Sending your heart out to someone or something that you just right now feel like, oh, I want to send that thing, that person some love. And bring it right back into you. Stretching the legs straight out and releasing them down. Awesome. So just coming to sitting here for a moment, wiggle the legs out any amount that you need to. Just getting into the right pose. We're going to press the feet away from us like we're standing on the wall across from us. That engages the thigh, opens up the hamstrings. Once again, belly into back into the belly and the bottoms of the ribs pulling up off the hips and the shoulders release. This is kind of the base pose, right? And we're going to go into Janu Shirsasana, one of my favorites. Bring the bottom of the right foot in towards the inner left thigh. And just feel it, adjust it however you need to. We're going to float down and up a couple times and then just going to kind of lean down over that left leg. So whenever you're ready, the arms will come up by the ears. And this is kind of our like inspiration for staying as long as we can, right? As long in the body as we can, but drop the shoulders away from the ears. Awesome. Yep. So with that, on the exhale, think about the belly coming down first, and then the chest, and then the chin. And then we're going to inhale and come back up versus just kind of flopping over, right? So inhale keeps us long, and then the exhale release down, down, down. Fingertips might even touch the ground. And they can press down as we lengthen back up, pressing the heel into the ground to keep us grounded, looking up to the sky, especially those of you outside. Say hello to the sky and exhale, release back. And keep on moving with that flow. Your quickness or slowness is up to you. But releasing the shoulders, lengthening through the back of the leg, through the back of the back. Or would that be the front of the back? Just lengthening through the back. This is our fifth time. So this time, whenever you're there, you're going to rest down over that left leg and find what feels comfortable. Like I said in the beginning, you could find that limit. It's like, okay, this is the edge of, what's comfortable and I'm really pushing it because yoga isn't about being flexible. And I think all of you on here know that. People have to be like, I can't do yoga, I'm not flexible. Well, you're working towards letting go, right? So that's the part of it. So you can kind of even come up a little bit if you need to, readjust, find your limit, back up a little bit from it, and then let the exhale slowly, each successive exhale kind of take you there. And once you're there, just release into that place, checking in with yourself, your intention, be with it as you honor your journey, honor your body. Letting go here any amount more. And then your arms will come back up by your ears. When you're ready for an inhale, press through the heel, coming right back up. Seeing if you can hang out here for a moment as you pick the right leg up, pressing the right foot into the ground, nice and strong. And then just exhale is going to twist us towards that right leg. I'm holding it with my left arm. Get there however slowly, however you need to. The right hand is back behind me, supporting my spine. Even though there's a lot going on with like my hands and everything, my shoulders are not holding the weight. Either is my jaw, and neither should yours be. If you can look over the right shoulder, go for it. If that feels a little weird or too much for the neck, then just look where it's comfortable. But when you're looking over the right shoulder, there's this full twisting happening throughout the cervical spine, the thoracic spine, the lumbar spine. And again, the thing about twists, it massages the organs, the kidneys, the liver, particularly. And those are our organs that, capture all the excess, right? The toxins, the extra. And so massaging them allows them to be work more efficiently. So any twist is like just helping your body out. Awesome. So even though your belly's all twisted, see if the breath can go a little bit deeper into the belly. See if you can find that string in the center of the crown of your head. And instead of you holding yourself up, see if you can feel like you're just being pulled up. So there's a little extra length happening. And then inhale, the right arm's going to come back up by the ear. Exhale, coming back to center. Right leg sent up to the sky, however far it can go up. Awesome. And release. All right. And coming back to center. Just take a moment here to feel. I love the pause of yoga. I love like running and working out hard, but just having that moment to, I get to scan, I get to check in. One side should feel a lot longer than the other. And now we'll do the other side. So I think it's the left leg. Yeah, it comes into the inner right thigh. Just checking in. It might feel different on this side. A big thing about when you feel different on one side than the other with your hips is either how you stand or how you sleep. But we can talk about that some other time. But anyway, if one's just feeling different, just notice it. Still press that right foot away to engage the thigh. Awesome. And the arms are going to come up by the ears, but even though we're exalting the fingertips up to the sky, we're releasing the shoulders down. So extend from the elbows in both directions. There you go. I see Paul already moving. Let's do it. The exhale brings the belly down and then the chest and then the chin over the right leg. We tap the fingers down. And inhale, press the heel into the ground, coming back up, maybe a little back bend, heart up to the sky, giving thanks as we keep moving. Exhale, lowering down. That's my flow and my speed. You go at your own pace. We did it 5 times, or like that 5th time, we release down over the leg. So find your flow with this. This is my 5th time, so I'm going to release down over my right leg. So y'all should be there in another breath or so. Follow my words more than my actions, because I'm just checking you guys all out. Awesome. So once again, checking in, that right foot presses away, it opens up the hamstring, but it shouldn't be so pressed away that your heel pops up from the ground. So make sure that your heel is still on the ground. Yeah, you're still leaning down over. I'm just talking to you. Let's see. Shoulders release. And again, it's about that limit, and that's just so, apropos to life too, right? Of course it is. So it's like that finding your limit and then knowing how to back up a little bit and then meeting it and maybe exceeding it if you want to with this slow exhale. With each successive exhale, maybe bringing you to that place. Or maybe you're like, I don't want to meet my limit. I don't want to go past it. That's not what I'm doing today. That's okay. Go where you are called right now. Take a moment to honor yourself as you're kind of bowing to yourself, returning to your intention. And let yourself be here. One more inhale and exhale. And at the very bottom of that last exhale, you'll bring the arms out by your ears, and that will bring you back up with the inhale. Taking your time, the left foot presses into the ground, and then your next exhale twists you around that left leg. The right elbow grabs it however you can. Awesome. The left hand back behind you to support the spine. I forgot to mention to check where your chin is, so it should be parallel to the ground. For some reason, when we twist, we love to drop down and look down, but let's keep the length in the back of the neck. If you can look over the left shoulder, that's a full twist up through the neck. That doesn't work for you, that's okay. Shoulders, jaw, they're chilling. With that string in the center of the crown of your head is just pulling you up, vertebrae by vertebrae, creating space in between each one. Maybe just imagine your breath like a big thick ribbon just coming in and then massaging all your organs inside, helping them out. Awesome. Any amount more that you can twist, you can. And then the left arm on an inhale is going to come up by the ear. The exhale brings you back to center. And we're picking up that left leg, pressing it away. And then as you try to press it away even further, you get to let it go. It floats down. I love seeing other people have their hands like this too. And both arms by your ears. Exhale, belly, chest, chin, both down over both legs. And then tucking the chin and rolling back up the center. I don't know if you can hear that, but I'll close that off from you so you don't hear the sirens in the background. And we're going to swoop around onto hands and knees. I promise I'm going to give you a long kind of resting Shavasana time today. So we can't waste any time. Just joking. Okay. So the hands, once you get there, are going to be right underneath the shoulders. The knees should be underneath the hips, and you can start moving into cat and cow if you know what you're doing. I see some kind of side bends, whatever that looks like to you. We're just going to move around here a little bit. I just want to point out too that if your wrists feel really tight in this, or we stay in this too long, number one, you can roll your mat from the front, and then rest like the heel of your hand on the mat so that your fingertips go down a little bit, so there's a little bit more of a what would that be called? It's not as like 90-degree of an angle, right? It's more sloping, that's the word. Or just shake them out, whatever needs to happen. So a couple cat and cow here. For me, the back goes up to the sky and I take a big inhale. And then the exhale, I let it go and drop the belly down. And as you're doing this, think about, kind of bring your mind's eye into your vertebrae and see if there's any part of the back that doesn't really get that stretched out when you do cat and cow. If you kind of do it the same way and there's that like one nodal point that really gets stretched out. And see if you can bring some awareness, some stretching to those other parts that might need it a little bit more today. Awesome. Coming back to flat back. Lovely. We're going to go right into down dog here. So if you need to rest for a moment, shake the hands out, you totally may do that. But if you feel like you're ready for down dog, then the toes are going to go down. I'm going to tuck my shirt in so it doesn't pop up on me here. And my hips are going to go up and back. Your head, just let it rest. So shake your head, yes, and shake it no. Pressing the fingertips down, every fingertip. And taking a couple breaths here. You can feel free to walk the dog, which is, moving one or like kind of bending one knee, stretching the other. And you stay in down dog. I'm just kind of checking you guys out in case there's anything I feel like I might need to see here. Awesome. I love it. Just taking this moment. Again, you can always go into child's pose if you need to, whatever works for you. But just make sure that your head is hanging out here. Trust your neck to hold on to your head. I think that's one of the funniest things I say in yoga, and nobody laughs. Well, that's because everybody's muted, but I'm going to pretend that you're laughing at that. Because, I think we do this like, oh, I'm going to hold on, but just let the head hang out and rest here. And take this moment to be upside down, feel the blood coming down. We're going to move here in a moment, move out of this in a moment, but we really need this kind of, swoop the blood around the other direction. All right, here we go. We're going to move into plank from here. So shoulders right above the wrists. Gently the belly comes in towards the back. Looking good. And then lowering down into chaturanga. So there's a moment of hovering if you can. And then our back bend. So for now, let's everybody just go onto your ribs, pressing the feet back, press the pinky toenail into the ground. The hands are by your ribs. And having this moment to extend the back of the neck. Sometimes we forget about that when we're in heart center opening here. And then extend heart center out. Sending it out once again. It's something that you want to send love to. Awesome. Pressing the toes down, the hips up and back into down dog. Releasing here. There, we're going to walk or jump the feet to the hands. So here we are in a forward fold. Once again, rest here. And then we're going to swoop up. So find a gentle way. I like to swoop my arms out, taking a little bend in the knees and coming up to Tadasana, mountain pose, hands to heart center. Closing the eyes if you wish, or looking at something lovely. Just taking this moment to feel that movement of the blood from the head back down to the feet, Feeling grounded here, toes down, heels down, and pulling the arches up, pulling the earth up through the arches, through the legs, but the tailbone continues to descend down, grounding you. The bottoms of the ribs pick up off the hips, and the shoulders relax. Finding your hands at heart center and taking this moment to honor the space that you take up, the meeting between the earth and the sky. Just kind of think about a couple things that make you really unique and therefore awesome. Just give yourself some love for that. And you don't have to share it at all. So that's what's really cool. You can think about the coolest things or the weirdest things, whatever it may be. And we're going to move through some sun salutations for giving thanks to this day that has happened. Coming to the front of the mat. I'll move through slowly. You can go a little faster if you want to. Inhale, swooping the arms out and up. Exhale, diving forward, forward fold. Inhale halfway, the hands come onto the thighs, so keeping a long back. Exhale again, belly back down the thighs. We're going to move into down dog from here, hands down, feet walk or jump, the hips are up to the sky and back towards the back wall. Moving into plank, shoulders above the wrists. Strong belly, arms in towards your ribs, lower down, chaturanga. That's a moment of hovering. And then rolling up into whatever heart opener, back bend you wish to do. Toes down, shoulders released, heart opening. Feeling grateful. Washing yourself over in all that gratefulness and moving back into down dog. Toes down and hips up. Feet walk or jump to the hands, forward fold. And we'll quicken the pace a little bit here. Inhale, swoop the arms out and up. Hands to heart center. Take a moment to center. And keep on moving. Arms up. Giving thanks for the day. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale halfway. And lower the belly back down towards the thighs. Hands to the ground. Feet walk or jump back. Down dog. And moving into plank. Shoulders above the wrists. Moving a little fast here. Lowering down. Chaturanga. Into your heart opener. Back bend. You could be on your ribs or on your thighs or on the tops of your feet. Find what makes you feel comfortable and also strong. And then moving back into downward facing dog. Stay here for a moment. And we're going to take the right leg up. Just bring it up to the sky. Maybe move the ankle around a little bit. I like to write the alphabet with my foot. That gets my ankle in all the different places it needs to go. You're going to get ready for warrior one here. So whenever you're ready, you're going to swoop that right foot in between the hands, dropping the left foot the whole way to the ground and the right knee right on top of the ankle, right? That like 90-degree angle. Get yourself there. Take a moment, adjust the hips however you need to. Widen the stance. And that right knee again is bent over the right ankle. Yeah. Full pose as the arms twist out and up. If that feels too much for you, the hands can stay on the hips. Take this moment. Maybe returning to your intention. Maybe it's changed. Maybe it's totally still that same thing. And just send some energy to it. This is the warrior pose, right? We're pulling up energy from the earth. There's like so much underneath us. All that energy right in the core of the earth that you can pull up. And then just send that energy right out, right through heart center. And you can kind of bring the shoulder blades together and down the back a little bit here. The tailbone tucks just slightly. Trying not to feel how intense it feels in the legs, but you guys got this. Awesome. Both hands are going to exhale down around that right foot back to meet the left. We're going to do this on the other side, and then I'll let you get into child's pose. But if you need to get into it now, of course you can. Okay, left leg comes up and moving that ankle around, spelling your favorite, I don't know, ice cream flavor. It's been a hot day. Ice cream sounds really good. And then you're going to swoop that left foot in between the hands into warrior one. Adjust however you need to. Check the stance, the width. The left knee should be bent right over the ankle. If you're ready for the full pose, all the energy of it, the arms go up at your ears. Tailbone descends. Tiny little, tuck here in the hips. Breathing down through the outer edge of the right foot, the left toes and the left heel. Pull up the energy through the arches. Release the shoulders blades coming together a little bit and extend out through the heart center. Find your strength. Remember that uniqueness, that makes you strong too. And that's it. Here we go. We're going to move into down dog, into child's pose. So on an exhale, both hands around that left foot back to meet the right. And if you want to stay in down dog or do any movement or something, you may. But if you're ready for child's pose, that means your knees come to the ground, your shins come to the ground. Don't follow what I'm doing, follow my words, but more so follow what feels good to you. So if you're ready for the rest, go ahead and rest in a child's pose. Your knees could be wide, bringing your belly close to the ground. Your head should be touching something. But if you are in, rocking and you're, you need to stay in down dog, go for it. Here's the kind of customizable part you can have. And it seems I see most of you in child's pose. And just knowing that, it's so good to take care of yourself. I think sometimes we kind of live in a culture of like, go, go, go and be successful and keep doing and keep going. And like, resting, what? You could do that at night, I had a friend that would say, I'll sleep when I die, right? And I just keep like reflecting on that lately, like maybe that person just needs to do some more child's poses. Just honoring yourself here, because in the rest is where we actually get stronger, right? Is where we get all those little pieces that we're working on and trying to make stronger and more life and more toned. Like this is when it happened. This is the integration. This is the healing. And you couldn't be stronger if you just kept running and running and running. You can't run a marathon if you just keep running. You need to rest and then practice. Awesome. Take another one or two big long inhales and exhales. We're actually going to head back up onto our feet here in a moment. So whenever you're ready, you'll transition back into down dog. So we'll meet in down dog. I see some dog wagging its tail. I'm like, every time I say dog thing. Anyway, I'm talking to him or her. All right, so we're meeting back in down dog here. I'm just taking this moment once again, press down through the fingertips, release the head down, lengthen through the backs of the legs. Awesome. We're going to move into warrior two. So from here, picking that right leg up once again, maybe opening up the hip a little bit here, even looking under the right shoulder, the right armpit, if that feels comfortable to you. And then I'm going to swoop that right leg once again in between the hands. And then moving into my warrior two. So this time my hips are facing the long part of my mat. That makes sense. Maybe I should do it this way. I think most of you know, but for those that don't, I will do this. Okay. So the right knee is bending over the ankle. And remember, not past it, and it should be like centered in between the ankle and the foot. So it's not too far into the left or to the right, right? The hips are facing the long part of the mat. Hold pose if you're ready as the arms are up and out. And if you want to do that, let's bring the palms up for a moment. That relaxes the shoulders down. Awesome. And let's take the left hand and press away. So if you can see my hand, my fingertips are pointing up to the sky. So here I'm taking this moment to think about pushing away thoughts, feelings, things that are coming to me that I don't want. I don't have to name them or think about them, but just things that don't serve me, I'm pushing away. With my right palm up, I'm accepting the things that I want to bring in, that I want to cultivate, things that probably bring me joy and peace and love, things that are good for others, and extending out from the heart center in both of those directions, pressing away and accepting in. And then release that left hand to the left thigh, and the right arm comes up, opening up here, keeping the right knee over the ankle. Ooh, lovely. I love this stretch. Meeting into down dog. Both hands around that right foot and right foot back to meet the left. And then the left leg comes up. And maybe if you want, you can open up the hip, looking under the left shoulder. And then as gracefully as you can, swoop it between the hands. And if you can't swoop it, you got to pick up the foot, then you can do that. Warrior two. So the hips are facing, the long part of the mat. Left knee right over the left ankle, pressing down through the outer edge of the right foot. Awesome. Full pose would be arms up and out. And once again, let's bring the palms up, release the shoulders, but still that string in the center of the crown of your head is lengthening you up, right? So you have this length and this openness and this strength, but then the shoulders are relaxed, the jaw is relaxed, and the right hand this time presses away from you. You're not taking it in, whatever wants to come, it doesn't need to come, but that left palm is open. You can accept in the things that bring you joy, that bring you peace, that bring you towards that intention that you set for class. Finding your strength by pulling up from the earth, letting go in the areas that you don't need to hold tension. And then releasing the right hand to the right thigh, and the left arm opens you up. Sweet. And swooping into downward dog. Both hands are on that left foot back to meet the right. Releasing here. We're going to go into thread the needle. So from here, we'll move into tabletop. So on hands and knees. And we'll start with the right arm. Take your time getting there. I will demonstrate this posture first for those of you that don't quite know it. My right arm is going to swoop up to the sky, and then I'm going to take it and swoop it underneath my left arm, dropping onto my right shoulder and the right side of my head. I can keep my left hand where it is. That's fine. It kind of stabilizes you if it feels a little uncomfortable at first. You can also bring the left arm up to open you up here. You can bring the back of the hand onto the back. You can kind of play with the angle of your hips, but really it's about just a kind of a big shoulder stretch here. Staying in that once you're there, breathing into it. I'm just checking you guys out here. Okay, awesome. And just luxuriate in this for one more deep inhale and exhale. If your left hand has moved, bring it back down to the mat, pressing the fingertips of the left hand into the ground, and gently, gracefully swoop that right arm back up to the sky. And then both hands will come down. You can do a cat and a cow for the transition, stretching through the back, and the belly drops down. Back to flat back, and then the other side. So this side, it's the left arm. It's going to swoop open, find that whole openness, and then sliding it, gliding it under the right arm onto the left side of your left shoulder and the left side of your head. Awesome. Cool. You wonder why I'm always looking off camera. For those of you new to my class, it's because my computer has the screen of all of you guys, and my phone is the thing that's recording me. But I can't see all of you on my phone, so I look at my computer. So that's why I'm kind of like looking to the side. All right, so wherever you're at, finding comfort in that, playing with your arm if you want to, keeping it stable on the ground, playing with your hips if you want to. But again, it's really just about a big shoulder stretch, and just find your breath there. One more deep inhale and exhale. And if the right hand is moved, it will come back to the ground, the right fingertips to the ground, pressing that in so the left arm can swoop up and back to tabletop. Cat and cow for the transition. Awesome. Let's actually just swoop right around, and we're going to come right onto our backs from here. And taking your time to get there. The way I like to do it is I like to grab onto my legs and like slowly, slowly lower my back down onto the ground if that feels comfortable to you. And then there's that one moment I just kind of give in and I slide down. So again, listen more to my words than my actions because you should be on your back. Go ahead and grab onto your knees and allow yourself to rock whichever way you want. You could do like, head to tailbone, rock side to side. Again, I'm giving us a little extended resting time because I tend to not do that enough for myself and my students. So we're going to do some good kind of resting here. So we're getting to this point, we get to rest. We've done some good work, some good stretching and strengthening and standing and moving. Awesome. Let's bring the feet to the ground. They could be maybe as wide as the mat. And just for a moment, fold the knees inward. So the knees are kind of just flopping up against each other. Arms maybe at your sides. Just kind of closing your eyes if that feels comfortable to you. Just scan the body. Take a notice of how you feel. Allow yourself to slow your breathing down. We're going to start with gently allowing the legs to flop over. Flop sounds too harsh, but gently allow the legs to go over to your right side. Then the knees can kind of, you can play with this. You can stack the left knee on top of the right. You could bring the arms out at your sides, but definitely have them lower than your shoulders so they shouldn't be up higher. So more like a Christmas tree. And if it's comfortable, if you want a full twist, you can look over your left shoulder, or you can look up at the sky. Eyes closed is great also. And again, different options could be you could straighten that top leg. If you have a blanket or a pillow or something nearby, you can press it in, like lay it in between the knees. But we are going to be chilling here for a couple minutes. So find what feels comfortable to you. Again, this kind of final twist. It's so good to just keep everything working efficiently. Our body does so much for us all the time, just automatically. And maybe we're hard on it, if this worked better, or, I could run faster or whatever. I don't know, all the things. Just being kind enough to your body to let go into this twist. And just feel that kind of that spiral happening in the spine, that revolving happening. And just by like allowing it to happen, right? There shouldn't be a forcefulness here. There should be a letting go into it. And as we start to come to this place of this resting pose, this can be so hard for some of us, right? Because we're like, oh, now's the time to think. So just if that is you, think of your thoughts as little buzzing bees, just zooming all around. We've got these like crazy wood bees that live in our house practically. And they're just zooming all around all the time. A bunch of them. They kind of like hang out by your shoulder sometimes too. So I think about my thoughts like that, just this buzzing thing. Like, thanks, appreciate what you're doing. And imagine if you have a window or a door, if you're outside, just send them away. Like a little breeze comes and just whoo, those are your thoughts, just send them away. We're just about ready to make our way onto the other side. So before you move, think about the movement. You're resting in this pose. So think about this movement, this slow transition as pressing your lower back into the ground, and your knees kind of just follow and come back onto your belly. And then once they're there, they're going to roll over onto the left side, I think this time. And once again, the arms are out at your sides. If that feels comfortable to you, you can have them resting on your belly. Just try not to bring the arms above your shoulders, because we just want everything to be chilling right now. So maybe this side feels a little different, a little differently, feels a little different. Your knees could be stacked on top of each other, a pillow in between them, the top leg could straighten out. Whatever feels good to you, that really allows you to let go. Giving those options, right? Like that top leg stretching out or kind of stacking the knees on top of each other. That just gives you a little extra something. If you're like, I'm not fully ready to like, totally let go and just kind of be relaxed right now. It gives you a little extra something to work on, but also in this kind of easier place where we're allowing the ground to just hold us up. So start to feel that heaviness of just letting go into the ground. And allowing your breath to just scan through the body. Letting go of any places that feel like they're holding some tension. Just let those go. Seeing if your breath can really come down through the throat, lungs, and expand the belly up and side to side. See how much you can fully release the inhale as well. And we're going to start to transition into our full Shavasana. So some options would be, again, pressing the lower back into the ground and letting the knees follow onto the belly. And then from there, you can just straighten the legs out. I personally love to press the legs up to the sky like I'm standing on the ceiling for a moment, and then pressing the legs away from me like I'm trying to draw with my heels on the ceiling and the wall across from me. That's kind of one last little, ab workout before I lower my legs gently, gracefully back down to the ground. But however you want to get there, it's a moment too of doing, whatever kind of final thing you need to do before you get into this final resting pose. And if it's cooled down a little bit where you are, then maybe this is a moment to get some socks or a blanket. Because again, we'll spend another good 3 or so minutes here in this final resting pose. And taking this moment to really honor that this is the integration pose. This is the time where all that you've worked on, not just in this class, but in this day, gets to come to rest and settle into the places that it should settle into. Especially when you get to just lay totally flat. There's no weird pillows or bumps in the bed, or you're curled up around some lump or something on the couch. Just totally flat. Everything is on this even plane. Your spine gets to just descend down, giving the earth all of your weight. And once again, if you think thoughts in the next couple moments where I won't be talking, just think about it as little buzzing bees. Thank them for what they want to tell you and say that you will talk to them in about 5 minutes. If nothing else, just follow your breath. Imagine it maybe as a ribbon floating down all the places, all the nooks and crannies that it needs to go to, following it as it flows back out. Bringing your awareness back to your breath if it has strayed away. And allow yourself to bring in new breath, new energy, new prana, all newness in through this luxurious inhale, watching it move down through the throat, lungs, the belly, fully letting go on exhale. When you once felt that heaviness of just allowing yourself to be held by the earth, now bring in lightness through your inhale. The light of all that you are, all that you can be. Those little lights of joy, of dreams, of sunshine, of this spring. Allowing that to just kind of tickle through the body. And then allow your arms to move here, stretching up. The arms by your ears, the fingertips stretching away from your tips of your toes, a long, long body. And then bringing the knees in towards the belly and allowing the arms to wrap up around your knees. And as you stay laying on your back here, you can rock yourself side to side for a moment. And then go ahead and roll onto one side, whatever side calls to you, as if you're curled up in bed. Taking this last moment to let go of anything you don't want to hold on to. And then finding a graceful way to wind yourself back up to a final seated position. And allowing your arms now to swoop out and back up. Hands, exhale, coming back down to heart center. Solidifying your intention, whatever that was. Again, maybe it changed. Maybe it's something new. Maybe you forgot what it is. Solidifying an intention. Giving yourself grace and washing yourself in the love of who you are, the uniqueness that is you, and feeling strong in the space that you take up. And once again, thank you all for allowing me to guide you on this journey today. I hope that it brings you wonderful sleep and maybe even amazing dreams tonight. Namaste. And for those of you feeling called to donate, please check in with me about how you can do that. But again, thanks for all of you coming on. It was a really fun, eclectic mix today. So thanks everybody for coming on. And yeah, feel free to unmute yourself if you have any questions or need to say anything, or if you want to talk to people. Awesome. Thank you. And I will be having class on Saturday too. So I will see you all on Saturday if you can make it.
What time's your class on Saturday?
10 a.m.
Okay. Ooh, great class. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on, Kristen. It's so fun to have new people. So thanks, Jonna, for bringing her on.
Yeah, thanks, Jonna.
You're welcome. Love you guys.
Love you.
Bye, everybody.